Hi, I'm Sage Russell and welcome to Make It Your Own. Now, most of my cooking inspiration comes from traveling the world, meeting locals and learning to cook from the locals, and I have learned that dishes can get made dozens of different ways. So what I want to do is show you some basics, then show you some options so that you can turn around and make it your own. Today we're going to talk about a fresh herb salad inspired by a trip to Greece. We're going to talk about some basics and then I'm going to show you some options so that you can add your own inspiration. Let's get cooking. So gang, this salad could not be simpler. It's really just an opportunity to put together a bunch of herbs or things that you think might be herbs. It really doesn't matter, but it's about flavor combinations. When I was traveling through Greece, which is what this salad kit reminds me of, they would throw anything and they grew stuff wild and plucked stuff from the mountains, put it together with lemon and oil, and that was a salad. So we're going to recreate something like that, but you could use pretty much anything. Today we're going to use some fresh mint, that's got to go in. Fresh parsley, which all around the Mediterranean and in the Middle East, they use parsley like a lettuce, basically. It's the base of so many dishes and definitely salads. So we've got mint, we've got parsley. I'm going to throw in a little bit of coriander. That's my take on it, not necessarily traditional. And then to give it a little pepperiness, some rocket. So with that flavor profile in mind, we're really just going to dress it with lemon and oil. And then we just need something earthy to really anchor the salad. I'm going to use my trusty California favorite, a nice Hass avocado. But you could use marinated artichokes, you could use fennel, just something with a little more bite and a little bit of earthy flavor. In this case, a nice buttery avocado. So mixed herbs, an avocado, simple lemon dressing, that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to get to my dressing first because I want it to marinate and get the flavors married. The first thing I'm going to do is grab the zest off of a lemon. Wash your lemon or get an unwaxed lemon if you can, even better. My trusty bar zester. So that lemon zest is going to give it, besides a nice sort of that soapy Provence lemon taste, it's also going to give little flecks of yellow throughout the salad, which will look really nice. So then of course we need the juice of the lemon. Give it a slice, squeeze it, run it through your fingers, make sure you get all those pips out. And that's going to be the acidic component of this dressing. Nothing more than lemon and oil, but I think that's what makes it absolutely sort of fresh Mediterranean, is just that lemon and oil taste. You could mix it up if you want to use a vinegar, sherry vinegar, white wine vinegar, anything goes in a dressing like this. But I'm going to keep it simple. Zest and lemon. I'm going to, of course, put some salt. Season your salads pretty aggressively, because remember that's pretty much the only seasoning the dish is going to get. I'm going for 2 good pinches of flaky sea salt. That might come out to be a 1/4 tablespoon of measured granular salt. And I'm going to mix it through when there's just lemon juice in here, because as soon as I mix oil in there, that salt's going to have a more difficult time. So stirring that together, we're already getting the lemon juice, that zippiness, and that kind of floral flavor of the lemon zest. Then we're just going to mix through some oil. You don't need to emulsify this in any scientific way. I'm going to dribble in about 3 times as much olive oil, 3-to-1 oil to sour. That's a reasonable guide. This is just an extra virgin olive oil, which is going to have a little peppery bite, as the Greek olive oils tend to. And then I may even crack some pepper into the dressing. And again, it's worth putting the pepper in the dressing so that that flavor starts to marry into it. I think that's just about us. I'm going to tip it out there to serve it up alongside my salad. That's looking pretty good, I would say. Then we get to the salad, and this, again, really couldn't be simpler. I've got a plate of mixed herbs here just to show you kind of what I have in mind. We've got coriander, we've got some fresh mint, and I've got some fresh parsley. And in this bowl, just some peppery greens. It could be watercress. In this case, it's mostly arugula or rocket. So this will just drop into the salad bowl. We know that's going in there. And then for my leaves, I think the key is rather than chop things up too fine, I'm going to pluck most of it. So something like my parsley, rather than just take the stems off and chop it, I really want to treat it like a salad green. So I'm going to pluck each individual leaf off. Here I've already got a bunch that I plucked. Chuck that in. Parsley just has an amazing clean flavor, and around the Mediterranean you'd see it sometimes paired with dill and mint. Sometimes you'd see just wild herbs that you couldn't identify plucked from the garden. When I was in the Greek Isles, which is really where I got a flavor for these very simple lemon and herb salads, there was stuff that you just couldn't even identify, but it showed up again and again. So this is fresh garden mint. Easy enough to just pull the leaves straight off by kind of petting the stalk backwards. Mint is a little toothy and a little flavorsome, so if you do want to chop it, that's fine too. But I'm going to leave my leaves rather whole. Chuck all those in. So we've already got 3 really good flavors. Peppery rocket in this case, some really clean parsley, and that sort of brightness from the mint. Then I'm going to throw in some coriander. Coriander has a very distinct flavor. Some people absolutely can't stand it, but I happen to love it. So again, if you've got it, I'm going to pluck it in nearly whole leaves or maybe tear it up a little. But I wouldn't chop it up too fine because again, we want to treat it sort of like a salad green. So there's a bunch that I plucked ahead, plucked coriander. That is the base of the salad. Give those greens a little hand mix up. And then of course I need some crowning ingredient to make it absolutely fabulous. I've used, artichokes. I've seen people use fresh fennel, which is quite popular. I'm just going to use a nice Hass avocado. They're quite big this time of year, hopefully nice and buttery soft on the inside. Just give it a split around the pit. Look at the size of the pit in that thing. Take the pit out. Drop that aside. So the avocado, it could go in long, clean slices, small dice, whatever you want. To get the avocado out, I'm going to use my trusty pocket knife. And I'm just going to slash it in diagonal strips. Get that stem out. And then the other direction. So I just have these kind of small finger-sized wedges. And then we'll simply cut it into quarters. Draw the peel off. And your avocado pieces can just fall right in. Nice, good size. You can do this picnicking. That way you don't even have to mess up your chopping board. Another quarter of avocado comes out in those nice little cubes. So that's going to be the kind of smooth buttery component that's going to give our salad some richness. The last thing I'm going to put in is going to be my salty ingredient. And this, what I've got here, is a really nice goat and sheep's milk feta, which of course also inspired by where I saw this dish the first dozen times that I ate it, which is in the islands of Greece. This is just crumbly, it's briny, it's got a little bit of salt to it. Nice crumbles. I love the feel of this feta in your mouth, as well as the little bit of salty zip it gives. And I love the way it just crumbles into random different size pieces. So, crumbled goat cheese, it's the best part of the dish. Just that little bit of saltiness, that's going to be really the seasoning into the salad. Now tossing this, give it a little bit of a toss, but you don't want to mash up your avocado and you don't want to mash up the goat's cheese too much. You want to keep it light and fresh. I'm going to give the dressing a little bit of a stir with a fork just to get that oil and lemon juice stirred back through. Give it a taste, make sure it's seasoned up the way you want it. That's pretty good. Nice zip of the lemon. Just going to pour a little bit over the salad. And you don't want to drown your salad. Remember that if this gets soggy and kind of mushy, you've really lost the point of it. We want those nice fresh herbs to come through. And that's basically it. Again, I think the important thing is just to experiment with the herbs. You could do anything in this, and I love the idea that there's no lettuce to be found in it. Everything is just sort of treated like the greens. Parsley, an absolute must, but from there, experiment, make it your own, do whatever you want. Avocado, again, you could use any flavor ingredient. Nice lemony olive oil dressing, that's about all I need. And this I'm taking right back to the coastal towns on Mykonos, where you're just staring, looking at the ocean. So we can plate that up. And of course, we're all friends here, so I can just grab a handful of it. Toss that in a bowl. Serve it with a little more dressing in case people like their salad dressed a little bit. Don't be afraid to sprinkle some salt or pepper over it right at the end. Well, that's my take on a nice fresh herb salad inspired by my trips to the Greek Isles. But do what you like, make it your own, and when you do make it, make sure you upload your pictures and your stories to Grokr.